up? What is up? We are back in black in the building. What is going on? What is going on? Man, I know niggas like, where the fuck, nigga? Y'all niggas don't even want to know, man. Internet been fucked up and some more shit. I don't even want to get into it. So much bullshit going on, but I've been taking notes, arguing with Kai's Cable every day, all day, like I said. Nigga, my internet do work. Just so y'all niggas can know. All kinds of shit be going on, man. But anyway, shout out to everybody that's handling business. Shout out to everybody that's at the Court Plantation right now. If you're at church, I know what you're doing. And all that bullshit. So shout out to y'all niggas. Waiting on somebody to come and get you when you die, I guess. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody that's out there that's dealing with all the bullshit that's going on. And shout out to everybody that is trying to make a way out of no way. I know it's a lot of y'all out there that's doing something to handle your business. So shout out to y'all. You know what I mean? You know, shout out to y'all. Man, that shit look funny. Is it just me? Hold on, let's see. That's me, because if that must be the thing. But anyway, man, there's a lot of shit going on. And I'll tell you right now, man. All this racism, white supremacy shit ain't no joke. If you're not trying to establish a system of establish a system of justice, then what the fuck are you doing? I was on the phone having a good conversation with my peoples. I don't want to put their name out there like that, but I was having a good conversation with them, and it was so funny because we were talking about this book called White Fragility, and I'm gonna get into that. And we were just having a great conversation about that. And we passed, back and forth information. I ain't read every book, so some books, my homie might be like, "Hey man, you read this book? Hey man, you should check this book out." So I'd be like, "All right, for sure, I'm gonna check it out." So shout out to everybody that's out there that's reading and writing and researching and doing the necessary thing that you need to do. Let me see. I'm looking. Okay, yeah, that looked fine. I don't know why that shit look like that, but anyway. hey, look, I don't even want to. I have to, but I don't even want to get into it because I got people. See, I'm just letting y'all niggas know. Niggas like Shawnee, I gotta let you know, Shawnee. See, my people watch this. My family watch this bullshit ass podcast, and let me tell you, these niggas will roast my ass if I can't pay my internet bill. So you know what I'm saying? I gotta put that shit out there, nigga. The internet was on some straight bullshit the last couple of weeks, and I just got tired of fighting it. I was getting irritated. Eye problems, some more shit. I'm like, damn, man, this shit is bothering me. But anyway, we're gonna talk about the bandwagon anti-black racism. And what I mean by that, we're gonna talk about how everybody is joining our struggle. And it's so funny because I often look at this shit and I be like, if niggas only knew, we gonna get into all that. We gonna get into all you church going motherfuckers that y'all will pray to Cesare Borgia, but when we bring up black labor, white wealth, then we're radical black folk, and I don't understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna talk about a lot of shit. We're gonna talk about Jeremy Lin in the NBA and how he said that somebody called him coronavirus, and it's like, nigga, get the fuck out of here. Niggas just want to bandwagon shit. So we gonna talk about a lot of that shit. I want to talk about these boot licking, telling about the gun line Sambo, Steven from Django motherfuckers too, who keeps speaking up for foundational black Americans and our quest for reparations. I'm tired of non-foundational black Americans speaking on behalf of native black people that deserve a repayment for what our ancestors have done for this country. So shout out to all y'all. And no, I have not finished. You like, damn, this nigga bull. Nah, I'm not bullshitting. I just got so much shit going on. I was on the phone with my sister today. Texting back and forth. Hold on, let me check. I ain't even. Oh, what's going on, Tosh? I ain't even. Look, I ain't even looking at the thing. Salute, fam. This is not the FN business about your idiot. No, I'm just saying. Look, Sean, I'm just saying that because See, some of my people's listen to this shit, and I know my brother, that nigga be the main nigga talking shit. Look, let me tell you something. I'm not getting off the subject. Let me tell you something. My brother's the type of nigga that, if I had a phone line, that nigga would call in and be like, hey, nigga, shut the fuck up. So that's why I had to say that. But we gonna get into a lot of that shit, man. We gonna touch bases with a lot of that stuff. I know it's so much shit going on. No, I have not finished Destruction of a Black Civilization, but I got 2 more books coming. I ordered The Unseen Hand, very, very good book. And then I gotta order the New World Order book by Ralph Epperson, and I'm gonna dive into that shit too. But we gonna get into it, man. We gonna also talk about what it is every day and how anti-black racism spills over into the corporate plantation. And the things that you can do to protect yourself. So I'm gonna be discussing that. And I am gonna write a book. A nigga over here jumped on the chat a couple of weeks ago and was like, nigga, you should write a book. I am. And but when I write the book though, see, I got some ideas, but I don't want to put it all out there, but I'm gonna be interviewing people too. And taking interviews and quoting people and watch. My shit is gonna be alright, man. And I'm gonna be talking about all the daily struggles. And what I want us to do in the future, 2021, 2022, start sharing the knowledge, man. So we're going to get into that because I think we have a bad habit of hoarding the knowledge and not wanting to give it to somebody, that is deserving of it. Don't give away your books, but just tell them, give references of what books to read. You feel me? Like Shawnee put me on to, what was that book you put me on? The Book of Enoch. I got that book. Shawnee put me on to the book, The Move. You know what I mean? And the Move group, the movement. And I never even knew about that. So it's about passing on that knowledge, man. So we're going to get into a lot of that shit today. We're going to discuss that going to church is not a bad thing, but we are going to discuss that going to church it's like being in the Matrix if you allow it to become that. So we're going to touch on all those things. We're going to touch on the check stimulations and how they supposed to be giving us more money. $600 can't do nothing but get me out of the hole I'm already in. But I digress. And like I said, shout out to everybody that's at the core plantation right now and working hard and doing what you need to do. Shout out to all my educated brothers and sisters that's got their degrees, that's helping out the next generation and putting them in positions to win. Because we need our black folk to be educated. And we need them to be educated if we want to, take back this economic, power that we have. So we're going to need black people in positions of power. You know what I'm saying? That could put us on the game. So shout out to everybody that's doing that. And we're about to get into it right now. Oh, man. Let me cut this clown out shit down. Don't give me the singing in this bitch. Yeah. Fucking ass. Man. Hey, man. First off, we about to start. Let's just get into it, man. I got to get into it right now. What's up with your boy, Jeremy Lin, man? Talking about people who's calling him the coronavirus. He's saying all this shit. And it's like, man, brother, come on, man. And my thing is this. I don't have no problem with Jeremy Lin, but it was a nigga that gave you your start in the internet. Stop playing with the bullshit. And then you acting like you don't know what's going on, and now you want to sit up here and woe is me. Stop letting these people woe is you. The reason why I wanted to bring up the Jeremy Lin situation is because let's not forget that he was going to school. Let's see where this brother was going to school. I think he was going to school in Berkeley. He was going to a really expensive school. It wasn't like he was a poor kid. It's funny how these Asians, these Chinamen, these Korean men, all these Asians, these Asian Americans, so-called Asian Americans, they will always try to be in alignment with black struggle or attach themselves to anti-black racism and be on the bandwagon. So since black people could say racism, then they'll try to claim it as well and act like it's so hard for them. Need I repeat, black people are a special people. We built the country from scratch. If you do not know that, get the book Black Labor, White Wealth. Stop allowing every other racial group to attach themselves and be in alignment with anti-black racism. They did not build this country. No, they didn't build the railroads. Get the book Slavery by Another Name. We already started and damn near completed the railroads, and they came in at the end when the shit was already done and built. Stop. That's documented history. Stop allowing these people to give y'all that type of narrative. That's a false narrative. You know what I'm saying? And we have to be very conscientious of that. You know what I mean? Because if we don't, in my personal opinion, what ends up happening is they can take over our narrative, take over the story, and then before you know it, you're talking more about Asians than you are about anti-black racism. It's like George Floyd being killed, and then all of a sudden, a black man beat up an Asian motherfucker, and it's like, oh my God, racism against Asians. Stop. Stop allowing these people to do that shit, man. That shit is lame, it's whack, it's time consuming, and it's the biggest distraction in captivity. Don't allow these people to do that, man. We have to understand that. I'm watching this show. It's called Georgia and Gina. And it's about this white woman who's got 2 kids, 2 different baby daddies. One is a white, one is black. Well, the black baby father, he's not ghetto. I thought they was gonna paint him as ghetto. He's educated, he's smart, he come from a good home. But the white woman is the white trash and is a hustler and robbing motherfuckers and killing husbands and shit like that. And her daughter's mixed and she's dating this Asian kid. So, you know, they have this class together. So long story short, it's on Netflix. Long story short, the white teacher is just a hell of a racist. Like, he names the Asian kid who's got the highest score in the class on a test, but he only got like a B. And then the mixed girl, she gets 100 on the test, but he don't even mention her. And when she started calling him out on the shit, you know, the teacher got mad and basically was like, oh, you're getting aggressive, because you know that's what they do to black folk. Well, they had this competition about, you know, who can do their essay. So she kind of did a spoken word on her essay. And since it wasn't in the right format, she didn't win. Her Asian boyfriend won. And the Asian boyfriend was like, well, no hard feelings, right? But, and the thing that what I got from that was, well, he don't really fuck with you like that. Because if he fuck with you like that, he'd have told that teacher, nah, man, she won that. Just on GP. And that's the thing we got to understand. Stop allowing these people to take claim in anti-black racism and play this fucking game like they've been through the same thing as us. They ain't been through the same thing as us. Stop. He was trying to bring up, you know, they got into this racial spat back and forth within this little sitcom, and it was very interesting because he started claiming victim, which, you know, goes to this book me and the homie was talking about called White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. He was like, hey man, have you ever read this book, White Fragility? I said, man, I read that book like 3 or 4 years ago. I said, by Robin DiAngelo? He was like, yeah, man. I said, yeah. It talks about progressives and how white people that are progressives swear up and down they're not racist, but they're the main ones. Those are the Joe Bidens of the world. Those are the Hillary Clintons of the world. You know? Oh, I like that, fam. I have a headache defending myself about using. Hold on, I'm about to click on this thing. Shani just posted something. Let me see. African American Vernacular English has been the center of controversy about the education of African American youth. The role AV should play in public schools and education is a place in broader society. By definition, as a vernacular dialect of English, AAVE has never received the social prestige of standard dialect, leading to the widespread and long-standing misconceptions that is a what does that say? Shit, I can't even read it my damn self. Grammatically inferior form of English. Look, I had to stop like, wait, what? Which linguistics research of the 20th century has soundly refuted. However, educators and social commentators traditionally have advocated for the eliminating AAVE, using through the public education system for the variety of reasons, ranging from a continued belief that AV is intrinsically deficient to arguments that its use, by being stigmatized in certain social contexts, is socially limiting. Some of the harshest criticism of AV or its use has come from African Americans themselves. A conspicuous example has the pound cake speech, in which Bill Cosby criticizes some African Americans for various social behaviors, including the way they talked. Shani sent me this. This is dope. I didn't even know that. Hey, is there a book on this? Hold on. Let me see. Faced with such attitudes, the Conference of College Composition and Communication, CCCC, C squared, a division of National Council of Teachers of English, NCTE, issued a position statement of students' rights to their own language. This was adopted by C squared members in April 1974, appeared in a special issue of College Composition and Communication in fall of 1974. The resolution was as follows. Wow. We affirm the students' right to their own patterns of varieties of language, the dialects of their nature of whatever dialects in which they find their own identity in style. Language scholar long ago denied that the myth of a standard American dialect has any validity. The claim that any one dialect is unacceptable amounts to an attempt of one social group to expert its dominance over another. Such a claim leads to false advice for speakers and writers and immoral advice for humans. A nation proud of its diverse heritage and its cultural, racial variety will preserve its heritage of dialect. We affirm strongly that teachers must have the experiences and training that will enable them to respect diversity, uphold the right of students to their own language. That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, good looking on sending me that. They got a book about this shit? Because you know I'll read that shit. Hey, good looking out, Shawnee, man. See, that's why you have to stop letting people place us in a box and then use the box to hide when it's convenient. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. And that's, you know what? That's exactly what happened in that series. And when I was talking to my homeboy, right? And this homeboy, and by the way, just to let you know, this homeboy, you know, this is not your typical homeboy. He's not melanated. And I've known this brother for about 3 years. And this melanated, this non-melanated brother, let me tell you something. You know me. You like to listen and see where a person comes from. Like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing teaches us. Tell us what's being said when we're not in the room. And this non-melanated brother has definitely been putting me up on the game and telling me things that has been said when I'm not in the room. And not just that. The communication and what we talk about ain't no what's going on, Tyrone, and all this bullshit. You know how the fist pump and all that suck ass bullshit. You know, it's more in depth on. It's so funny because one of the things that me and the homie was talking about, he was just like, "Hey, dog," he was like, "These so-called progressives in this book, White Fragility, they're the problem, man." He's like, they are the problem. I said, and you know what? How they can solve that problem? Replacing the system of racism, white supremacy, and establishing a system of justice. If you're not trying to establish a system of justice, then what the fuck are you doing? That's how I look at it. And when we throw books back and forth, the thing about it is he's like, look, man, I was reading this one book. I'm like, damn, man. He was like, black folk have always been behind the line because of what the dominant society has done. He was like, you know, we were just talking about Black History. He was like, how you gonna give Black History the shortest month in the year? You don't really talk about the things that black people have really done for this country, like build it for free. You know, and you know, when you read Black Labor, White Wealth, it does kind of fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not looking at it in its totality. You're kind of thinking like, oh, the land of the free, the land of the brave, and all this bullshit. It's like, wait, hold on, man, nigga. And then they get you on the job. I was watching this podcast. Netflix got this thing, not Netflix, but Hulu. It's on FX about the underground untold story of hip hop with Deb Anthony, Big U from 6-0, Bimmy, Deb Anthony's brother, and then Trick from Detroit, and then Haitian Jack, them five, and it tells their stories and how they grew up and how they was involved in hip hop. And I like what Deb Anthony said on Drink Champ. She just was like, it's a whole bunch of Uncle Toms and bullshit motherfuckers in the music industry, and they give them the trinkets. And I wanted to jump in there and say, it's called racial showcasing confusion, Deb. That's all. And you can see it. You know, in the corporate plantation, y'all need to understand, they like people like Jeremy Lin, who will distract from what's really going on. Jeremy Lin is the biggest distraction in the NBA to come out and say that people are calling him the coronavirus. Stop. You a dry snitch for one, and for two, get out the fucking NBA. I just think you mad because you basically robbed the NBA. You shouldn't even been getting that money. You're not even a good basketball player. Carmelo Anthony, who was the superstar of the Knicks at the time, gave you your start, told the coach to put you in. You forgot all about that. Now, if we was to get in the game through a Jewish connect, a white Jewish connect, and then we turn around and we throw a bunch of Jews under the bus, do you think a Jew's gonna come to our rescue? They'll all turn their back on us. It's called being on code. All those niggas should have turned their back on him and been like, man, my nigga, we don't fuck with you like that, bro. You run your mouth too much. Thank you. People that are not melanated hate each other too. We are the common enemy, and everyone will eliminate the common enemy energy first. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's why I always say, that's a fact, Shawnee. That's why I always say this. And, if Tashani told you, I see you. I always give this advice too, man. When you're dealing with other racial groups, you have to understand that stop getting into your feelings and telling them all the struggles of what black folk go through. A non-melanated person that is trying to establish a system of justice, they're not gonna buck dance. They're not gonna tell them about the gun line boss. I know, look, I thought I said what's up to Tosh right there, but I did, because I'm flipping back and forth and shit. I know, I was just talking to her today. I'm pretty sure working on the court plantation, you've probably come across them. I have. Not a lot of them, but I've come across non-melanated people who has pulled me to the side and said, hey, man, and they ain't talk down and you better be careful. No, they pulled me to the side. I'm telling you, I remember an OG lady, non-melanated, white lady, pulled me in her office, sat me down. She said, look, you're very intelligent, you smart, you handle your business, you're not dumb. She was like, and you got a good head on your shoulders and you don't take no bullshit. If you haven't noticed where you are at the time, this was a long time ago. If you don't notice where you are, there's not any black people that are in charge. So you need to understand exactly what you're dealing with and how you're dealing with it. These people will smile with you. They've had, act like you're good. And those will be the very people sending emails on you. I know how this game works. She was just breaking it down. And I kind of already had a preview to it before in other jobs. But she was just kind of breaking it down. And she just like, look, don't tell all your business. Don't come to work showing your emotions. She was just giving me the breakdown. And she was like, and as time goes on, if you still choose to be at this employment place, or this job is what she would call it. She doing parentheses, employment place job. She said, because I think I think it's a bunch of bullshit to tell a black woman or a black man that they got a future here and there's no one that looks like them in charge. This is a white person telling me this. She was like, I just think it's bullshit. And she said, and that's probably why I haven't really progressed the way I'm supposed to, because I'm the one speaking up on those issues and I'm not really liked like that. And that's fine. But as time went on, I started to kind of see a lot of the stuff that's going on. And I didn't, thank you, white master. Oh, you was a merciful master. No, I didn't do none of that shit. I didn't get to bug my eyes. No, I just, listen, like Arsenio Hall, things that make you go, So I just watched for myself. And as I watched, there were things that were allowed to come my way, so I could see what was going on. That's called, as Dr. Francis Cress Welsing teaches, tell us what's being said when we're not in the room. If you're not telling us what's said when we're not in the room, then how could you be helping us replace the system of racism and white supremacy and establish a system of justice? That's why when you look at things like Jeremy Lin saying that, that's a distraction, that's disrespectful, and who gives a fuck if somebody said that to you? Here's the difference in black folks' so-called racism and the dominant society's racism. Black folk racism is cracker, chink, this, that. You know what I mean? Let me tell you what the dominant white society's racism is. You can't live here, aka gentrification. No, aka redlining. You're a nigger, you can't live here. AKA you're living in the hood, you niggas? All right, well, get the fuck out. We're gonna move you out of the hood because we want the hood back. Gentrification. You can't work here because you're a nigger and I just don't want to hire you because I don't like your name. Bonquisha. You know what I mean? That's how that works. You know what I'm saying? But y'all niggas need to understand that. Wait, let me see. Hey, family, finally got back to the chat. Off from the court plantation. We want that next check. Hey, yeah. What y'all think about them checks, though? Hey, let me ask y'all a question. Hey, Miss Wendy, let me ask you a question. Shawnee, let me ask you a question. So what the fuck is we supposed to do with $600, nigga? I'd rather them just give me $5,000 in food stamps. I can fuck with that. Just give me $5,000 in food stamps and I'll be good. Y'all can keep the check. They gonna tax it, they gonna check. I'll take the food stamps though. Cause don't they put it on the list? Yeah, just give me the little debit card. Nigga, I'll be a shopping food motherfucker. Let me see. Shout out to Wendy as well. Shawnee just sent me another link, so I'm looking at this book. African American English by Lisa J. Green, a linguistic introduction. Hey, I seen this on Amazon. I didn't even think nothing of it. Look, hey man, we hood on here, so when I get books, when people tell me about books, I automatically put it in my cart and I try to get to it. Like I ordered the Book of Enoch. I ordered The Unseen Hand too, just to let y'all know again. I got that book. I got to get the New World Order. Then I just ordered 2 more books called Live from the New Jim Crow, the story of Ida B. Wells. And then, hold on, let me look this up real quick. African American English. Let's see. Yeah, by Lisa Green. I got you. All right. Damn, that shit is $50. God damn. Could I get that shit for $10? God damn, they out of line for that shit. And that's the paperback. God damn. I just put it in my cart. Let me see. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna check this book out. Okay, it's a cool read, about 300 pages. Okay. Yeah, man, I be getting, hey, when y'all got books, man, fuck with me, man. I fuck with the books, man, real tough. You know what I'm saying? I sent a link to one book, Warren. I got you. I just looked at the link right there. Av. Yeah. Buy stock. And that's another thing too I wanted to talk about too and kind of bring it full circle. In case y'all haven't noticed, anybody that y'all around, y'all always hear me, and y'all hear me and Tasha go back and forth about this teacher we both had. And my sister's older than me, and my older brother's older than me, but we all had the same teacher. I think even my little cousin had this teacher. If I'm not mistaken, I wonder if Tamisha had that teacher too. I ain't seen Tamisha in a minute, but if so, I wonder if she had this teacher too. But we always talk about Mr. Terry. And Mr. Terry, man, he was just big on econ. Thriftbooks.com. Okay. How much is it on thriftbooks.com? And here's the thing. With books comes knowledge. One book leads to another book leads to another book. And that's the thing that we got to understand too. While we're fighting for reparations, we still need to build our own economic base. But we still should be fighting for reparations because that's what's owed. That's what should be given. I think that's why we shouldn't be allowing people like Jeremy Lin or anyone to come and take away and create and sow discord and cause a distraction among this anti-black racism shit that's going on to us. Because you talking about somebody called you a coronavirus, but I'd rather be called the coronavirus than be called a bunch of niggers and nigger like Donald Sterling did, and then all they did was just sell the team to another white Jewish person. Hey, don't leave anything on the table. Let's get it all. And with the money, get stock and pay your bills. Do some credit building so that we can have access to cash in the long run. That's a fact. And you're right, buy stock. Hey, buy stock. Let's get into this cryptocurrency. That's where me and Shawnee met and Dr. Boyce Watkins chat. Go get you Coinbase. Go set up Coinbase and get that. When you get Coinbase, then what you can do is you can start buying cryptocurrency too. You ain't got to be buying thousands of dollars worth of cryptocurrency. Just buy $20 worth of cryptocurrency. And then buy you some stock. Buy you some bonds. Buy you some IRAs. Do that. Don't let these people get up here and stay claim and get all the money, and then while they getting all the money, you just sitting back watching them, and then you mad at the end because you done worked at a job for 30 years and you ain't did nothing with your investment. Look, I was having this conversation too with 2 of my homeboys. We was on the phone talking, And I was just like, I was telling him, I was like, look, it doesn't matter where you work at. Because the motherfucker try to work shame you no matter where you work at. You can work at Taco Bell, you can work at Del Taco, you can work at In-N-Out. Nigga gonna have something to say. It doesn't matter where you work. Nigga gonna always have something to say. This is the thing that I say is diversify your portfolio wherever you at. Put a little bit of bread here, put a little bit of bread there. That's all you gotta do. So then if, if things come to a situation where you can no longer work that job, you got a little something to sit on. Let's just not be like everybody else and just do the freestyle fellowship, and then at the end we don't got nothing to sit on. No, you just got to handle business, and you got to create generational wealth for your own peoples. You got to create that for your own people, and I think the best way for us to do that is to start studying, reading. You know what I'm saying? Toss books back and forth. That's why I always be asking Shani, hey man, you got some books? You got some new books? Because nigga, every day is a school day for me. And by the way, reading is Destruction of a Black Civilization. That's my second time reading it. I read that book twice. I read Two Nations twice. Two Nations gives me a code. They had the coldest term in here, how they call black people in corporate America corporate wallpaper. Corporate wallpaper. I said, now that's cold. Corporate wallpaper, that's cold. In this day and time, corporate wallpaper, let me tell you this. That basically lets you know that black people just sit on the wall. They're not real, they're fictitious, and they can't do anything to help you. And that's what you need to learn too. Look at me, y'all see me sitting up here looking. Let me see. Let me see. All right. Today. But I'll tell you this, because I'll be looking at the stock, I'll be looking at Bitcoin, I'll be looking at all that shit, man. That's right, diversify your portfolio for sure. Hey, I tried to, man. Look, when I was talking to one of my partners, and I was telling him, because he was under this disillusion that you had to have a whole bunch of money to invest in the stock market. And I was like, my nigga, you ain't got to have a whole bunch of money to invest in the stock market. He's like, what you mean? I was like, my nigga, you can have $50. My homegirl called them mayo monkeys and snow possums. Oh, man. Look, let me tell y'all something, man. I've been watching a lot of shit. I've been looking on Twitter. And a lot of the shit that I've been seeing is kind of been crazy, because I'm like, damn. Okay. You got the stimulus package, right? You got that. Then you got, come on, y'all. I know that y'all have seen and witnessed a lot of people still trying to go after Trump. While Joe Biden and cop Kamala Harris is in the motherfucking White House acting like they don't know what the fuck reparations is. Now they want to speak to Cube. My thing is, but what are you going to take from what Cube is going to give you? Are you going to do anything that Cube's going to give you? Or are you just doing that as an insurance policy, so when it's time to vote for y'all again, niggas going to go out there and vote? But my thing is, Joe Biden already told you what it is. We was having that conversation too, man. You know, I always had that conversation. I had that conversation with family members and everyone. Look, man, stop telling motherfuckers to vote Democrat. No, vote your interest. Why would you vote Democrat and these Democrats ain't done shit for you? As Donald Trump did say, he said, Joe Biden is a career politician that has been in office for 40 years and done nothing for black people. He's done more harm than good. And then when you press him on the issue, the nigga talking about, well, the black people came to me and they wanted me to do the 94 crime bill. Stop. Stop it, crazy Joe. That's not what happened. What happened is, you wasn't fucking with these niggas like that. You didn't give a fuck about them. You made a speech about it. And then you enacted the crime bill. And you and Hillary and Billary and all the rest of your good buddies was sitting back laughing while niggas was going to jail for 20 years for a dime bag of weed. And now weed is legal. So y'all should pardon all those people that y'all put behind bars for weed. But I don't see nobody doing that. Let me tell you something, man. Racism is an institution. It's a team sport. It's about the competition of resources, to use those resources to oppress another racial group. So, since black people don't own no plates, no cakes, no pies, no tablecloths, no ships, no boats, no planes, no trains, How the fuck can we oppress somebody? Come on, man. You gotta grow up. Let me see. When I see Kamala, I start singing your song, Mammy. Hey, I swear to God, I thought I was the only one. Hey, remember we did that? Hey, I don't even want to play that shit, because remember, I couldn't even get through the podcast, man. I was laughing like a motherfucker. Remember that shit? Hey, Shawty, remember when I was playing that song? I couldn't even get through the shit because the shit was so fucking funny, man. Hey, and then you see what happened to your girl, Stacey Abrams, a.k.a. the Pine Saw lady. What happened to her? You see, they ain't even talking about that bitch. It's like she didn't even exist. Hey, I try to tell people, y'all better stop acting like just because y'all standing up for white people and taking the heat for them that they gonna somehow, nigga, they not gonna have your back. Nigga, they gonna always take up for their own people, and they gonna use you as a stepping stone. He dig the culture, though. He used to have braids. They called Jeremy Lin coronavirus on the court. Yeah, he dig the culture. And let me tell you something. And you know what? Hey, man, you're not wrong for saying that. You can dig the culture, but you're not of the culture. You're not from the culture. So you're just benefiting from the culture. You can play black all day long, but at the end of the day, you probably identify as a white Asian American. That's probably what he identifies as. And he probably doesn't give a flying fuck about no black culture as long as he makes money off of it. And if there's a black and Asian coalition, right, then why is it that Asians only sell black products and make money off of us? How come they don't do like in China and just sell to Chinese people? Hey, remember that? Hey, Shawnee, remember that shit though? Tell the truth. I hate to keep going back to that, but you notice I won't play that song no more. Remember, I couldn't even get through the podcast, man, because I kept playing the song. I couldn't stop laughing because that nigga was like, "Oh my little mommy." Oh, and another thing too, I want to get into. I watched Antebellum. I finally watched that. What did y'all think about that? Well, I'm gonna tell y'all what I thought about it. At first, I thought, man, where the fuck are they going with this shit? And you know, what the fuck is going on? Then I'm like, oh, she was dreaming. Then it went from she was dreaming. And I'm like, they on a plantation, but they talking pretty good. And then I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga doing answering a phone? Why does he have a phone? Is this in her dreams? And I'm like, don't tell me this is some type of costume play shit with real consequences. And then as I got a chance to keep watching, I'm like, oh, so this is another form of Get Out. So basically what they doing is just kidnapping niggas and putting them on a corporate plantation, putting them on a plantation and then really fucking with them and raping them and acting like it's the slave days. Now, what I got from the movie was, this is like Get Out Part 2. That's 1. 2, don't ever think you're too big for who you are as a black person within their society. And 3, we want to go right back to the slave days. Period. That's what I got out of it. They want to go right back to that situation. And if they could, they would. You know what I'm saying? Exactly what it was. That's what I think. If they could, they would just go right back to it. And let me tell you something. When you're dealing with other melanated people, sometimes be slow to speak and eager to hear. Listen to what they own first. Don't just jump in head first. These niggas, especially at the corporate plantation, these niggas gonna run back, go tell Massa. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people do that shit. I've seen people do a lot of whole ass shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to be slow to speak sometimes and eager to hear and see what they own. You know, and then the people that aren't who they say they are, they'll show themselves, and even the people that show themselves, believe them. And when a person tells you who they are, believe them. Don't get mad at them. Don't get disappointed. Don't, oh, fuck that nigga. Just be like, man, bro, it is what it is, man. 2 roads diverge in the yellow woods. I took the one less traveled. That's all you got to do. Don't be mad at them. Don't, especially when they're non-melanated. You can't put your trust and faith and hope in anyone that is not on the same page as you. Yeah, it's Get Out mixed with Maze Runner. That's a fact. I said, all they did was just take the shit from Get Out. Because I was like, once the nigga answered the cell phone, I was like, man, what the fuck is this? So basically, they just kidnapping motherfuckers You know, and then after they kidnapping people, basically, this is what I took from it. They was kidnapping niggas because Janelle Monáe, she was kind of famous. So they kidnapped her, and all the white people, all they did was just stay on code and not tell where she was. And then made it back to where she was back in the slave days. You know what I'm saying? And they were just kind of going with that shit, acting like they was, you know, what tripped me out was motherfuckers wearing all these garbs and shit and acting like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Acting like it was in the antebellum period. And I was like, oh, okay. But what I got from it was they still want that shit to go on. That's what they want to do. I don't care what y'all niggas say. They want to return back to antebellum, period. I recommend a movie, His House, should still be on Netflix. His House, what is that about? Tell me a little bit of a screwhead about what His House is about. You know, you can find a lot of interesting things on you know, TV. See, I like to watch things for the symbolism behind it. Like when I was watching WandaVision. So I was watching WandaVision, and you know, it was being good. But I liked that character, old girl from she's from Survivor's Remorse. She's a beautiful sister. Man, she fine than a motherfucker. Man, that sister is fine. She was on that show, Survivor's Remorse. She's been in a lot of shit. And her superpower is stronger than Captain Marvel. And what people don't understand is the kinetic energy and vibranium and how, you know, when you're dealing with black people, you know, and how we can harness the energy. Right? I got these 2 books called The Great Books of Melanin. And just a little bit of research, melanin is a semi-superconductor. So we can harness energy and we can redirect it because of the melanin. That's why when you sit out in the sun, it activates your melanin. You know what I mean? And it just was showing how, I forgot her name, but if you watched, I don't know whoever's watched Captain Marvel. In Captain Marvel, you got the white woman that's Captain Marvel. Then you got Captain Marvel, the older white woman, and then the pilot that was in Captain Marvel, she was black. That was her best friend. Well, the pirate that was in Captain Marvel, the black sister, she got a daughter. Well, the daughter done grown up. Well, the daughter's grown up, and her powers is stronger than Captain Marvel. But don't y'all know that they don't never really put out there how strong the black superheroes and shit are on these Marvel movies? Marvel know what they doing. They study us. Why is Jeremy Lin speaking up about this? I bet a lot of NBA players get called things from the crowd also. Exactly. Peace, fam. Picking my baby girl up from work. Miss and love y'all. All right, man. Much love and respect to you, Shawnee, man. Man, for real. Hey, keep your head up out there, man. Any new books, you already know to email me or just let me know in the chat what books you got. Or leave a message if you got some new books. I'll check them out. Until next time. But yeah, man. You have to understand this. They study us, but we need to study them. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, study the white man. Study the white man. And you better study him, and you better study the history. Because if you don't know history, you don't know where you're going. You know what I'm saying? We got to remember to thumbs up. I know. Look, you know me, Shawnee, man. Shawnee, man, we've been doing what? This is what, going on the 3rd year? Hey, I talked to Nuke, too. Nuke is doing good. She just been super busy at work. I just thought I'd let y'all know that. Yeah, I talked to Nuke. She's been super busy. I might try to set up a Zoom so we can do this podcast through Zoom. Me and Shawnee and I mean, not me and Shawnee, but me and Nuke. And then Shawnee and all y'all can see Nuke and shit, man. I'm thinking that I got to figure out how to set up that Zoom shit. I don't know how to do that shit. Hey, remember LeBron versus the Karen live on that happened recently? I know, man, because I ain't been on here in a week. So I ain't been able to talk about a lot of this shit. That shit was funny. That bitch was going off. She was mad. He was like, man, that Karen was mad. It's not a good time to be named Karen right now in the United States of America Incorporated. Hey, man, let's just remember this, man. When you get your little stimulus check, buy you some stock. If you get the stimulus, man, spend $50 on some stock. Go open up you a Robinhood account and go buy $50 worth of stock. If you can't do nothing but go buy you some weed stock. There's about 10 weed stock under $5. Just go buy you some weed stock. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know how to do it, message me on my YouTube, and then I'll just do a real quick podcast about, you know, what stock to look for if you don't know. If not, go check out Dr. Boyce Watkins. He'll put you up on the game. But hey, man, look. Y'all need to understand, man, this shit is no joke. A little dime sack of weed stock. Exactly. Shit, if you gonna smoke it, you might as well own what you're smoking. Get you a little piece of that pie. It ain't hard. It's very easy. Look, they'll teach you that shit in school, but they're not gonna tell you how much you're gonna really need it and how much is gonna really be valued. They're just gonna teach you just enough so you can so you can never say that they didn't teach you. That's all that is. But hey, man, there's a lot of shit going on that you could pay attention to and understand why it's going on. Just remember, order out of chaos, because they're going to throw so many things at us at one time. They're going to throw medicine at us. They're going to practice so-called medicine on us. That was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I have been a direct beneficiary of, maybe it's, try this. You know what I mean? So we got to go back to our roots and know what we need to do. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the shit that they try to give us anyway ain't really helping us the way it should be. And I think a lot of the times we need to do the research and read. For all y'all that don't know, go read Medical Apartheid by Harriet Washington. That's a cold motherfucking book, man. Damn it, I need to get Professor Griff's other book too. But I'm going to tell you right now, man, these are things today that we got to wake up and smell the bullshit. Not the coffee, not the grapes, not the strawberries, but the bullshit. Just think of hot elephant shit. First thing in the morning when you wake up, just think of that. And that's what you need to smell, because that's what the fuck is going on. If it ain't in the food, it's in the air, chemtrails. If it ain't in the air, it's in the water system. You know what I mean? With the fluoride and shit. So trust and believe you me, these are not people that want people to stay around for a long time. No, they want to usher you out of the system. So you should know what it is, know what it ain't, understand where you're going, and know where you've been. You know what I'm saying? And don't get on these corporate plantations, get the buck in your eyes and buck dancing and jaw jagging and lollygagging and just bumping your gums. Just yeah, man. Sometimes just fall back, man, and watch and be observative. Be observant of what's going on. And I would say when you observe what is taking place in front of you, the order out of chaos, then what you could do is you could be subjective, but objective in your mind and know, okay, those are the do's, those are the don'ts, pros, cons, and that's it. Stop going on these court plantations and telling all your business. Stop being that black person that tries to play the victim in front of the slave master so you get a pet on the head. Stop playing victim. And when I mean victim, I just can't do it, boss. I just can't do it without you showing me, boss. That's what I mean. Stop playing that. No, play the victim of, hey, I don't know what to do. Show me what to do. What do you need me to do? As Neely Fuller Jr. says, always start a conversation with a question. What do you need me to do? Is there anything else I can do? That's all you should be doing, because if you don't know by now, they dominate 9 areas of activity. And if you know that and understand that, I didn't know that before. Then I read Black Labor, White Wealth, and I read the ISIS papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? And I read the compensatory counter-racist code of ethics. I'm like, God damn. And the compensatory counter-racist code of ethics and the ISIS papers, they say a lot of the same shit, like the 9 areas of people activity. Shit. Also said he's not dropping any names, so why would he bring it up? Because why even say anything at all? And what does that fucking matter? There's only one black owner in the NBA who just happens to be the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball. I don't think that's by design. Well, we'll give it. You gotta literally beat Michael Jordan to own a team. Now, what does that tell you? Come on, man. Wake up. Generational wealth is where it should be. Hustle for your last name, not your first. Handle your business as above, so below. Study, handle business, and do what you need to do, man. I'm about to get out of here. I got shit to handle and things to do. Hey, man, y'all have a good day, and I'll hit y'all up on Tuesday. And for all you coon Sambo ass niggas that's out there telling on a nigga, guilty nigga, I don't fuck with you like that. I'm out. Peace.